Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Leadnap Gaming. 3.14 is out, and despite the rough edges, we're taking a look at the best new starter ship to have. .3.14 has finally dropped, though frankly at this point it might have been better if it hadn't. Still, combat has been reworked, engines work differently, and those two features are enough to ask the question, has the best starter ship changed? Before we get too far, let's define what a starter ship is and is not. I define it as a ship you purchase to learn the verse, a ship that lets you try different game loops out and is generally one you would use to make your way in the verse from the get-go. It must also include the game package. Starter ships cannot be expensive. After all, this is you trying out the verse. The best starter ship is a good all-around, but not strong in any one place. Ideally, a starter ship will let you earn good money in the verse to upgrade to a real daily driver, something that will take you where you need to go and perform as a real earner to establish yourself in the verse. 3.14 hasn't changed anything in this regard, even though it's turned everything upside down. If you're interested in looking into the verse, spend the $45 and get an Aurora. It's better than the Mustang in that it has a bed, and more importantly, a functional interior you can stow a few boxes. The bed's pointless today, but in a few patches from now, should there be a wipe, you might be thankful it's there. You're better off, however, spending the $95 to snap up a Nomad, admitting to yourself that you would spend $85 at Wally World to pick up any other AAA game for a console. What's another 10? This is of course a larger investment to make in the game, and I would avoid doing so if you're really unsure if this is your game, hence the $45 option. The Nomad picks up the bill though, because it can carry a rock mining vehicle, giving you mega in-game purchase power without adding any other ships to your personal fleet. Of course, if you're willing to go that far, at $115, just $20 extra, you get yourself into a Cutty Black, which isn't really a starter ship due to its price. That said, the Black will give you multiplayer capability, which is starting to be more and more important. It's got more cargo space, and it's enclosed cargo space. The Black is a solid investment if you're looking to buy one ship and stick with it, because even whale fleets usually retain the Black, as a result of its amazing utility. I said that a starter ship cannot be expensive, and frankly, that's one of the things that keeps the Black off my starter list. In fact, when the Nomad was only $70, I felt that it was a lot more reasonable. And again, keep in mind, you're paying $15 for the game as well here, but I would be tempted today to almost take it off the list as well. Keep all this in mind because none of these ships are the best ship you could purchase. 3.14 changed everything. What matters more is not so much which ship you plan to come into the verse with, but what you plan to do from there. Bear with me here because for the next few minutes, I could change your entire outlook on the persistent universe. The Cutlass Black is no longer king of utility. It's been fantastic, but 3.14 tosses it to the curb in favor of what might be the best all-around ship in the verse, and that ship is the RSI Constellation Taurus. I'm not saying that because this was my ride in high school either, because RSI's version is way better in both build quality and utility. I have limited nostalgic love for the Constellation series. After all, a Connie was my first big ship. There's a lot I don't like about these, a lot that's missing from them, and when's all said and done, I haven't planned to keep one in my fleet. If I could only have one ship, this is the one I would pick. Don't get me wrong, it hurts a little to say that. I want to say it would be countless others, but the Taurus is superior. It's bigger than a Cutty Black, which from an all-around utility standpoint should hurt. But the Taurus is remarkably small and nimble after you've been carting around in a Caterpillar or Hercules. Thanks to its bridge design and ship design, you won't struggle putting one of these into a port hangar. The pair of high struts mean that you can park this almost anywhere with little concern for ground obstructions, and if a Cutty Black could fit, most of the time you'll surprisingly fit one of these. The Star Runner is faster, and has a nice cargo bay that holds more SCU. Yes, you are potentially running mass cargo, you're gonna feel the pinch a little, though 168 SCU is more than enough to pull really good profits. The Taurus beats the MSR in two places though. First, while both can do multiple ground vehicles, the MSR has a long ramp and small opening. Two rocks will need to be parked carefully. The Taurus features the best roll-on roll-off capability in the verse, parking two rocks where both could depart simultaneously. Better yet, the Taurus makes it super easy to carry both a ground vehicle and load up on SCU, if that's your thing. Careful parking and you can use both simultaneously. The MSR can't as easily do that. The other trick the Taurus brings is superior firepower. A handy complement of size 2 missiles bolsters a turret with twin size 2 Badgers, and what really matters, 4 size 4 gimbaled Rhinos. The Star Runner has one option facing pirates: run. The Connie gives you a fighting chance, or even the chance to go run some bounties. Cargo, guns, vehicle transport, multi-crew, all in one of the easiest ships to fly and land. Even though people complain about the struts, with them you still have excellent views of the world you're trying to land on or fight around. There are other ships out there that do everything the Taurus does, but the Taurus is more functional even if it lacks refinement that some of the others have. The MSR is a bigger interior with more bells and whistles, but 90% of your time in the verse is spent either in the pilot's chair or leaving the chair to get off the ship. The Taurus is easier to do that in. Still, the Taurus sits big. It feels big. When you walk out to it, you have that sense of, yeah, that big ship is mine. Unlike the Max, which is the only ship to come close to the Connie in most categories. Unlike the Max, the Taurus still has a very nice interior. For when Star Citizen becomes a game, you spend longer periods of time on the ship, and then you'll be happy you're in a Taurus and not the Cutty Black. Plenty of other ships bring more to the table, but the Taurus gives you everything you need for most of Star Citizen, and little of anything else you don't. The only thing hurting it's the price tag, though still quite better than a number of its best competitors. If you go to spend the money today in cash, you can get one for $160. This is a great deal, but we're talking starter ships, and not only is $160 too much to put down to try out a new game, but that doesn't include the actual game package. Okay, Led, best single ship to own in the game's the Taurus, but then it's too expensive as a starter, so... Look, the actual starter ship you choose matters next to nothing. Seriously, the Aurora is your best bet. Though if you want to feel the wallet pinch less, I suppose grab the Nomad. I know that sounds backward, just follow along. Once you're in the verse, if you like what you see, you can start to invest. The best route, especially if you are eyeing that Nomad, is this one. Buy an Aurora and buy a Taurus CCU today. Now, don't buy one from the Aurora, because otherwise you should just go cash in. Best bet in my opinion is the Freelancer Max to Taurus CCU. Purchased now during the release sale, the War Bond price is $10. Really, that's most of the point here. For the next month, you have the chance to lock a $160 Taurus up, saving yourself $30. The alternative option would be a black Taurus CCU for $60. This, the Max option, puts you into Star Citizen for $55. In the event you decide it's not for you, sell the two ships. Yes, the CCU counts as a ship, by the way. In the event you like it, you've preserved the best path to single ship bliss. Once you enjoy the game enough, CCU your Aurora up to a Cutty Black. You can stop at Avenger Titan and Nomad along the way if you like. From the Cutty Black CCU to the Max. The Max is a fantastic ship that will give you 90% of what the Taurus is. Solid cargo, vehicle transport, excellent shields, and armor as well as great weapons. The Max lacks the panache of a big ship, even though you carry more and have even less wasted space than the Taurus. It flies like a bus, it has poor visibility from the pilot seat. It also has less interior space should you want to spend those long periods of time aboard. These will all feel like nice upgrades when you slide into the Taurus, but you won't feel rushed. This road is nice because you can spend small chunks of money over time building towards the ship, while locking the price, which will stay this low only for the next month. Along the way, as you invest, you gain ship attributes and experience that will be beneficial in the Taurus. The only reason to spend real money here is because that way on a wipe, and at release, you then have the best single ship in the game. For me, that's the best road forward, but you have alternatives. If you do spend the money today to buy a Nomad and want to spend no more on the game, the Taurus is still your best bet. A Nomad will allow you to generate a very good fortune in the game, and the Taurus will be cheaper than many of its other options that sound sexy. You could do it with the Aurora and buy a Nomad in-game, but unlike CCUs, there's something you need to consider about this approach. Every ship you buy in the verse doesn't stack like a CCU does. When you CCU the Aurora to a Nomad, you keep the value of the Aurora and pay the difference. Raise the AUEC to buy a Nomad, and you have to start over at 0 to raise the AUEC to the next ship. So if you plan to go the AUEC route, buying in-game, keep in mind ideally you want to go from the Nomad to the Taurus. Stopping in between is a waste of money and time. There is a third way. For one of you, that is, because I'm giving away a Constellation Taurus for one lucky winner. Comment on videos to enter, including last week's Thrustmaster Warthog review, for a chance to win. More details will come in the following weeks, as well as in the description below. So to recap, in 3.14 the best starter ship is still essentially the Aurora if you're looking to check out the verse. If you're more confident about enjoying it, pick up the Nomad and start saving your way to the Taurus, which is the real change. The best ship you can own if you want to have just one. If you want to just spend the money right away, buy an Aurora starter and get a CCU from it to the Taurus, since there's no game package including the Taurus. I've done videos on how to CCU, and if you need help, head over to my Discord and ask. Plenty of help's available. Links in the description below. Also, head over there if you're looking for people to play with. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on the Taurus. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you all next time.